So something we've been really focusing on recently has been cannabis policy, and we brought in some key staff members over the last year to really focus on that, starting with what our lobbyists already know about an issue and the curiosities that they have there, and digging into media and social media to see exactly how true they are, but also putting a measurement on it and understanding who's actually part of that conversation. How exactly has that conversation changed over time, and what does the messaging look like around it? And then taking those insights to build out campaigns and marry them to direct focus groups and polls. I've been using NetBase and Quid both for about 4 years now. We use the platforms kind of to feed off of one another. So having them both integrated and starting to be able to talk to each other has been really valuable for us. A lot of what we look for is how different audiences are talking about different topics and what messaging is going to resonate with them. So looking to see what the policymakers are talking about and how the influencers are influencing them and what they're speaking about. So trying to really understand what that ecosystem of thought is. We'll start in Quid and see how a topic area kind of self-sorts based on media coverage. We'll also use Quid to bring in our own data, congressional hearings or different events, and we're able to pull out some really clear messaging. Then once we get a really good understanding of how things lay out naturally in Quid, then we'll move over to NetBase and see how things are fleshing out on social. So how people are really kind of consuming those same different topic areas. Something we've been diving into recently has been Reddit. So I think that's going to be kind of our next frontier. Recently, we were doing a project in healthcare. We look at all the different players within that ecosystems and understanding the roles that they play. And we found in one scenario, insurers were a huge part of the conversation, but nobody was really adding context around them. So there was a big opportunity for our client to start to shape that conversation and add a perspective onto it in what was a pretty contained conversation. The biggest advantage and why I'm so married to NetBase, having used almost every other social listening platform under the sun, is how specifically you can cut across your data and how easy it is to do so. I think NetBase has done a really good job with taking that same quantification to audiences. For example, we were working with a client who hit a crisis. They had their crises over like a 2-year period. How did that conversation change? Not just on what people are saying, but in who's actually participating in it. And NetBase has some really easy tools where you can literally just save that entire audience and then just continue to keep an eye on how they behave.